Hey guys, welcome back to Let It Roll. Today I got a strategy by Jovi. He sent this in a while back. I apologize for those of you that have strategies waiting in queue. I'm real behind right now, so I will be getting to them as quick as I can. This one's called the All Evens Green strategy. Let me show you why. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're actually going to start with the evens numbers of this layout here. So what he wants, and this isn't a regression strategy, it's a pretty basic strategy. You're just going to take same bet for most of the time, except for the very first hit. The very first hit, you're going to actually press up your 6 and 8. So this is the way the layout starts. He wants to start with the $25 4, which is an even number, a $12 6, which is an even number, a $12 8, of course, even number, and then a $25 10. You're going to buy the 4 and the 10s. So that's why he's calling it even numbers here. All right, so with this layout here, you're going to take the very first hit, whatever it is, whatever you score, and press up the 6 and 8s to, you're going to press them to 24 each. So that's going to be the strategy. All right, you start with the layout that looks like this right here, and you add this. So there's only 2 levels to this strategy. Okay, first level is this level right here. And then the second level to this strategy is this level right here. All right, adding this. So your very first score, no matter what it is, you're going to press the 6 and 8 to $24. And at that point, you're just going to ride the strategy out. There's no pressing and there's no regressing. So he just wants to collect green chips on every time that his numbers are rolled. So there we go. That's how this strategy plays out. Okay, so this is a pretty basic strategy, something that anybody can walk up and play. You could play this at any level of table also. You could just start with separate amounts on those things. So let's take a look at some of the ways we can adjust this strategy. So adjustments to this strategy, let's first of all start off with money limits, okay? The base layout, the way he wants to lay out is a quarter on the 4 and 10, $12, 6 and 8. So let's say that you're at a $5 table. All right, what can we do? We can actually adjust to lower levels. Remember, some of us like to play for fun. Some of us don't have a ton of money and we just want to play, see if we can make a few bucks. But let's say that we're at a $5 table, okay? A couple things you could do is you could just start out with 15s on the 4 and 10. Okay, and then you can start with the lower units on the 6 and 8. And then it's the same principle here. All right, if at this particular level here, if we stay exactly with the way he did his strategy, with the first hit, you would press the 6 and 8 up just 1 unit. So this would be the first level. All right, and then the second level would look like this. All right, so we're just making an adjustment for a $5 table. Okay, so here on every hit here, you'll see here you've got 3 units on the 4 and you'll have 2 units on the 6 and 8. Okay, and then you just ride it out till big red shows. All right, so my point with this is you could play this at any level. It don't even have to be at a $5 table. You know, you can make these still 25s, this 5 and 5. You can make these 10 and 10 and start with 12 and 12 because these are a little bit more common numbers. So you could say start with 10 and 10 on the 4 and 10 and 12 and 12 on the 6 and 8, and still with your first hit, press the 6 and 8 up again. So you'd win here, you'd win $18, here you'd win $14. So either way, you would still have enough. Let's just say we threw a 6, so you would win 14. Okay, and that still gives you enough to press 1 time. All right, so let's say we're going to press the more common numbers. So at this point now, you ride it out. You just live or die. You know, you just, if it's a long roll, you're going to keep getting same bet, which some people would not approve of, and it's okay. Just remember, we all have our own ways to play. So you would just collect until big red comes on this layout here. All right. All right, let's look at some of the adjustments we can make that actually change up the strategy a little bit. So this strategy here would still be his strategy, just at different levels, okay? So let's look at some things we can do to adjust this strategy for, let's start for the more aggressive. Okay, so we can look at some of the aggressive adjustments we can make to this strategy. First of all, anytime you go aggressive on a strategy, there's things you could do like pressing instead of just taking same bets or whatever. So in this case, let's say here that we throw a 4. You're going to get paid 50 for one because you got to pay the dollar vig. Okay, so we would have $50 here. So instead of just taking, 24 of it and adding it here to where we have 24 and 24 on the 6 and 8, you could take your first hit if you throw a 4 or a 10 and just take them right up to 30 instead of stopping at 24. Okay, now that's semi-aggressive there. Now you could just stay at that level and keep collecting until the big red shows, or you could, now that you're at this level, once you get your other hits, you could say something like, okay, if a 6 throws, I win $35. Okay, at this point you can say I'm just going to keep all greens till I get to the next level. So here you've got $10 to press. So you could press it on a 10 and a 4, or you could press it all on the 10, however you want. So that's a second level of aggression. All right. And then the third level aggression, what you could do is you could seriously start spreading out to all the other numbers. So let's say that the 6 hits again. So you get 25, you get $35. All right, you can say, you know what, cover my 9, and you keep $10 this time. Let's say the 8 hits, you get $35. This time you can say you're going to keep the green and press the reds. So you can press the reds however you want. You could even put them here and add, some of your winnings to that. Keep a green. Now the next one, vice versa. You just start spreading out along the whole board, okay, collecting and pressing. So that's another way you can get aggressive. All right, let's take a look at some ways that we could play less aggressive than the first time. Okay, guys, if you look at this strategy now and you want to play a little bit less aggressive, depending on what level of table you're at, you could do it a few different ways. Let's say that we're at a $10 table, all right? So let's say that the 4 and 10 are the ones that are less likely to hit. So one thing you could do is, let's just say that the 4 hits. So at that case here, you're going to win 50 for one. I'm just going to make it, well, we'll just get paid correctly. So you're going to win $49 because you have to give that dollar vig. All right. And with this, if you want to play a less aggressive style, you could say, okay, I hit my 4, so let's bring down the 4 and let's go to the table minimum. All right, so now you're at $10 on the 4, okay, and you have this available. So now let's say you hit the 10. Okay, same thing. This time I am going to do 50 for one since I have a dollar here. Okay, so at this time here, you can now say bring down my 10 to table minimum. And then here, you could just stay minimums with this, or you can now start collecting and pressing because now you're at table minimum on everything. All right, so let's say that the 6 hits. You could do a collect and press. You get $14 here. So we're going to go ahead and collect this one. All right, and let's say that the 8 hits. You win $14. We'll say we're going to press this one. And at this point here, you could press wherever you want. You could do the 10 and the 4. You can add to the 6 and the 8. Okay, so this is just one way you can make it less aggressive, is by lowering the 4s and 10s. And from here, once you're down to table minimum and you've made some profit, then you can start pressing however you want to. You can get aggressive again. But the initial first few rolls is just to earn your money back, and then you could start pressing from there. So, but that start part of this is less aggressive. So that's one thing you can do to be less aggressive on this. All right, guys, I want to thank Jovi for sending in this strategy. Also, if you guys are interested in watching me play it live, I'm going to do it this Wednesday night, 7:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So if you guys have any strategies you want to send in, send it to letitrollcraps@hotmail.com. I have a lot in queue, so it'll be a while before you see the strategy, but I will try my best to get to it as soon as possible. Thanks again for hanging out with me, guys, and I will catch you guys soon. Take care.